Okay, so my lovely, this is for you. This will be my third reading this morning, so I'm really channeling this whole tarot thing today. Sorry. And so I wanted to do a reading with you yesterday, but our time was just so restricted that we didn't really have it to do this. So I'm going to do it now. And I kind of have some ideas of the things that you're looking for in your life, but I think I would really love to just do a general, what do the cards want you to focus on? Because, I know you're concerned a little bit about the new job, which I'm stupidly excited for you. I'm so pleased that you're in with AHS. I think that's just going to open a million doors for you. And, in this thing with the other aspects that we've been talking about business-wise and just personal stuff. So I think an overall really well-rounded reading for you would be really spectacular, and so we're going to do that. So we are using the Hidden Realms deck. So I'm hoping that this reads well for you. I don't have the book handy. No, it's not really handy, so we're just going to fly by it. Like I said, I did a reading with this deck earlier today, and it reads beautifully. And it's funny because, you and I went through the cards yesterday, and we were like, oh, we don't really like very many of these cards, but it reads so nice. So I'm grateful for that. Because there's nothing, and I've had decks that are, the cards just individually just resonate and speak to me and are stunning and really depict the thing, and then I can't read where they crap with them. So we're just gonna play it out and see where this deck gets us. So, okay, hang on. Okay, so I'm going to do my big spread, my 12 card spread. That seems to be what we're doing today, so that's what we're doing today. And so we'll go about it in such a way. They're just gorgeous, aren't they? Ugh, love them, love them. Alright, just tuck you guys away. Alright, so let's get started. Now, I'm pretty sure I've done this spread with you a couple of times now, but I will kind of do a basic introduction to each placing as you go along, just as a quick reminder. So here we have our past, present, future. So what's currently happening and what's sort of the main focus for the spread for you right now is the Four of Pentacles. And so the Four of Pentacles with this particular deck is about Mama Badger offering a little bit of protection and guarding what is of value to her. And so with this unstable rock structure above her, she's really watching that, that her young are well protected. She's got a good covering on them here. So again, it's really about, for all intents and purposes, this place that you're in right now is bringing those things together and finding that stability in that physical realm. So, whew. Excuse me, I just needed a breath there. I've been talking so much, I have no air. So as we go through, the cards will obviously share more and more as we carry on. So, but that's where things are right now, is just finding that grounding and that stability and really just kind of focusing on that. So the influences that have brought us to this place here are the Four of Swords. So a couple of fours going on here. So there's some real stability being brought forward to us. And that Four of Swords is kind of a little bit of that wishful thinking. I'm really hoping. There's a lot of hope involved with this particular card. But again, it's mind over matter. So it's really about centering your mind and focusing your mind and really understanding what is available and what's there for you and being able to take that step forward. Because again, as you know, the fours can also mean stagnation. And we don't want to see that happening, especially with everything that's happening right now in your life. So I like her. I think she's a beautiful, beautiful card. But we'll see how the rest of it plays out. But I want to watch out for that level of stagnation if that starts to present. So some of the things that we can move forward with is the Queen of Cups. And I love that. I think that's beautiful. So in that place that brought us here is kind of that wishful thinking. It's not so much that hope, but just that real deep, deep pondering, that real thinking and wishing and hoping and, oh, I want and I would love to have and I wish I could and all of those things. But being mindful that if it's held there too long, it really does start to stagnate, and all that is that loop of I wish, and we don't want to see that happen. And there's that level of protection and being a little bit guarded, but keep in mind that even though the youngins here are the ones that are being protected and guarded, Mama Badger, yes, Mama Badger is exposed. Okay, so really be mindful of that. But once this grounding and this real solid base starts to really take effect, then you come into the Queen of Cups here, and as you know, the queens are about those maturity and that mastery and that real feminine energy. And being cups, it's all heart. You know, there's no brain going on in there at all. It's all about the heart, and it's about mastery over those emotions and mastery over those relationships. And I really like to see that for you, because I think that's ideal. That's perfect for what we've been talking about. So let's see what the Wands have in store for us. So we've got the Page of Pentacles. And again, like we spoke yesterday, I think she's probably my favorite card in this deck. I love the sense of readiness, the sense of wonder. You know, those pages are really about that youthful exuberance, that youthful wonder. And, you know, I think wide-eyed wonder, I've used that term a couple of times today because I've had pages all over the place. And I find that for her, and in that place for you right now, is really keeping that grounding and really exploring how that grounding can help and benefit and move those desires for you forward. But again, it's about exploring that grounded state for you. So Air and Swords, we've got the Three of Pentacles, and here we go with Pentacles again. It's all about Pentacles today. It's obviously fall and autumn, and it's all about Earth right now. So like I said, you know, that Three of Pentacles, and we talked about him being older, and I thought about it a little bit last night and just sort of over the morning, and I can understand what they're trying to get at with this card is you may have all of the skills, and you may have all of the talents, and you may have all of the abilities to move your life forward, but sometimes it takes a long time to get that recognition, you know. And I think that's kind of what this card is telling us now, is you may be the peak of your abilities. However, getting that recognition and getting others around you to see how it works for you, and to see you as you see yourself, sometimes can be a bit challenging. So keep that in mind when you're thinking about, you know, it's like, hey, you know, I got this. I know I can do this. Why don't they think I can do this? Sometimes it takes them longer to see us than it takes us to see us. So I kind of like him now that I've kind of played with that card a little bit. So as far as the emotional side of things go, oh, the Star, we love the Star. So there's so much healing with this card. You know, it's that real sense of wonder. It's that magic. It's taking the you know, with the butterflies are all about transformation and growth, and, you know, and altering, literally physically altering yourself to become something new, and finding that sense of healing and that sense of wonder. And I like that we're kind of flanked by these young energies. Older girl, younger boy, sound familiar? Are flanked by those energies, and really kind of bringing them into yourself, and really finding that emotional healing that's obviously needed and warranted right now with what's going on for you. So as far as the grounding card, it's a Seven of Swords. So I find it interesting that these two are sort of reversed here in their places. So the sevens again are about, after that decision to move forward with the sixes, that seven is about taking that action and actually heading in the direction that you've decided to go in. So with that earthly connection, you know, I'm going to kind of step back just a little bit here. The other thing with the Seven of Swords is a bit of a daydreamy card. You know, you really kind of want to watch that you're not overthinking and over, I think wishing is the wrong word, but sort of like overthinking that element of wanting things to start to manifest for yourself, because it's already started. Things are starting to move forward. Like, you know, you've got that job, you've got these conversations happening with the good mister over there. And so don't focus too much on the head side of things. You know, like, yes, the dreams are great and the ideas are great, and all of those things are wonderful and necessary part of growth, but don't stay in there too long. I really feel like traditionally he's not a warning card, but I'm really getting that energy that it's almost a bit of a warning not to focus too much on that, and to maybe kind of stay a little bit more grounded than you've been feeling lately. And we had that meditation last night, which which was interesting. And I'd love to actually tell you a little bit more about what was happening there, but another time. So the energies that that the universe are sending to you right now is the Two of Swords. So I'm finding it interesting that he's showing up twice here. So the Two of Swords, traditionally, it's about choosing which path to take and what direction you want to focus your learning and so forth in. But I don't see that with this particular deck. For me, the Two of Swords kind of, oh my goodness, I'm having such talking and breathing issues today. That Two of Swords in this particular deck really kind of gives me that duality more than anything. You know, he seems to be willingly able to sacrifice himself to the young girl behind him, yet there's no malice in her face at all. There's no sense of, I win, I'm victorious over you. So I don't see it as being a card of conquering. I almost see it as being more of a card of trust, is finding that balance and making that choice to trust something that has the potential to be dangerous, but really once you kind of get into it a bit more, it's not. So, and it's only going to benefit you intellectually. So that's kind of where I see that card now. And as far as the things that might be holding you back a little bit is that Eight of Cups. And, you know, we talked about him yesterday, and traditionally the Eight of Cups is about leaving something that seems to be fulfilled behind in order to find something better. But something came to me yesterday about moons and moon phases, and maybe it was all those natterings and all that energy from last night. But I'm kind of feeling this card now is that he's turning away from the cycle, because the cycle is very, very predictable. You really know what's going to happen at each stage, and I think that's represented really well here in the moon phases. And those emotions, you know, we all know that circle, or sorry, this way, that circle of emotions, you know, like I behave like this, and then this behaves like this, and then this behaves like this, and then this behaves, and on and on and on and on that circle goes. And stepping outside of those predictabilities and really taking that step to change and to break that circle, in order for that forward motion to really take effect for you and to find some new place for you, I think is really great. So I really like him too. I think he's a really good card. So sort of overall, now that I've got the main body of the cards down, you know, again, there's some stability aspects here. You know, I've got a 4, I've got a 4, I've got an 8, there's a 2. So there's a lot of those elements to bring that stability together for you, but they seem to be a little bit scattered still. There's no real super cohesion. So really using that intellectual stability, that intellectual space that you're in right now, and being, again, careful not to daydream that too much. And there's another card here for daydreaming. So, you know, you really kind of want to watch that element of that daydreaming and being in your head more than you need to be. I think following your heart a little bit more is going to get you further than following your head right now. And keeping yourself safe and finding that place of protection and of groundedness, and just kind of really staying solid with those beliefs and staying in that place that you, look, I've got all these things together. I know this is what I want to do. I'm very focused on it. And I really, really, really want to channel my energies into the earth to manifest this for myself. And that's where I see this card right now for you. And if that sort of plays out, the potential outcome of that is beauty. I mean, you've got the Queen of Cups there, so she is the mother of love. And I think once you kind of get through this building this stable place and kind of moving forward with this a little bit, you're really going to find that your heart and soul are really gonna fall into whatever decision, whatever choice you decide to make from what's happening right now. Really exploring things, really staying connected to the earth. I mean, we've got Pentacle, Pentacle, so, you know, you've got a really good foundation here for that groundedness, and really exploring things and really seeing how those energies are working for you, and just really focusing into it. But spend some time with it. But spend the time with it not as an adult, but as a child. And I think that's a really important aspect here, is to see it like a child would see it. You know, look through Ava's eyes with something new and with wonder and just that whole beauty of that nature and around you. And I really think that that's going to really pull together for you. Piper is driving me crazy. She's in and out of everything underneath me here. Hey, Monk. That's my good girl. And then, you know, you've got that Two of Swords. And again, I really feel like it's that choice to put yourself in a position that may seem a bit perilous at the time, but turns out really not to be, and will really create that trust and that bond between the two elements of that card. And it's that good communication, you know. And so that's kind of important for me right now as well. And keep in mind that all the skills you have and everything that's brought you to this point is maybe just starting to get recognized. And you're just starting to see that, because again, this pentacle is in the place of swords, which is thoughts, thoughts and mind and knowledge and communication, and so you've got all the skills that you need to do, but they haven't really been able to be expressed properly yet. So give that some time and let that sort of work its way out, and it'll come. It'll really come. And then you'll move into that place of stability, you know, and offer yourself some healing. And, you know, don't be hard on yourself, on your heart. Your heart is really, you know, the word fragile just came to me right now. And I'm not really sure, because we haven't talked about any aspects of that, but fragile, but not in a glass sort of way, but fragile and interesting. I'm not really sure, but the word did come to me, so maybe it'll resonate a bit better with you than it is with me at the moment. But finding that place of healing and really just sort of trusting that heart's place. You know, and our cards end up working out to be 7, 8. So again, there's that forward motion. So spend some time with your heart and just make sure that there's no healing is required. And if there is, do it. You know, it needs to be fulfilled. You've got, again, that forward motion, that turning away from the circle, breaking the pattern, really stepping outside of what's going on in your emotional world right now. So take some time. And you know, I kind of feel like they're working to, like, he's almost turning towards the boy. So maybe that's what you've got. You know, you've got this young fella who's kind of staring off into the stars and hoping and wishing and all the things that he's thinking and all the things that he wants to do, but he forgets that he's already in that process, that he's already at the 7, so he's already moved forward and he's on that forward path. So don't focus too much on the what ifs, but really recognize the what ares, you know. And then take that element to break that cycle of emotion that's kind of swirling. It exists for all of us. We all have that cycle. You know, we feel one way and then it just kind of spirals around in this circle infinitely. So take some time to maybe break away from that. And I really feel like that healing will come